Hello friends, thank you for joining me again today. My name's Dan, maybe you know that, and I paint for a living, happily. I did this painting this past Friday. So today's Tuesday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, four days ago. This was a retirement party taking place at the Angus Barn in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is one of our most prestigious and long-lasting restaurants in town. And it was to honor this man right here, whose name is Bob. I'll leave it at that for now. That's his wife. He was retiring from being a bank president. So they hired me to come and do a painting of the event, which I was more than happy to do. And I'm nearly finished. The evening ended a little bit early, so I didn't have time to finish there. But besides that, there are a couple changes I want to make. So, okay, first thing I want to say is, in my mind, there's one definite, what could be called a mistake in this painting. I wonder if you can find it. No, I don't want to invite you. Never say that on the internet. It's like troll bait. It's like chumming the waters for trolls. No, don't tell me what you think's wrong. I will tell you what's wrong with it. It goes back to a broadcast I did about a week and a half ago called The Power of Subservient Values. And the dark part of this painting is down here. Mid-tone, light, and dark. And the problem is, they had all these white chairs down here. And when I was standing there painting, I'll tell you exactly what was happening. I was making a classic blunder. Two classic blunders. One, I looked at the chairs and say, well, golly, those chairs are painted white. I don't know why I have to say it in that particular dialect. But it's too late now. It's already done. Golly, those chairs are painted white. And my brain registered, light, white, bright, white, light chairs. Whoa, they're painted white. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, I forgot the power of subservient values. So I put these chairs in here, and they're entirely too bright. I kind of knew it when I was packing up that night. It's like, oh man, I was a little dismayed actually with myself. I was packing up. When I got home and looked at the overall painting, my wife said, oh, I love it. It's okay, it's redeemable, but I'm going to fix that. Okay? So what's wrong with the painting? These chairs are too light. They're out of place. Now the second mistake I was making, that even if the chairs were that light, white, bright, in reality, the mistake I was making, why'd you paint them so light? Microphone, interview, microphone in my face. Dan Nelson, why'd you paint those chairs so light? Because that's what they were. Because that's what it looked like. Mistake. You hear that? We're not in the business of painting what it looks like. We're in the business of producing beautiful paintings. Those are two very distinct and separate activities. Copying is not producing beauty. Copying is being a camera. Anyway, that's a long lecture. I won't get into it right now. That's enough. So I'm going to fix that. Now, in the meantime, though, because I have the privilege and the honor of getting back into this painting, I'm going to do what I almost always do when I have the opportunity to come back and hit a painting a second day, and that is I'm going to do glazes over the whole thing. I just mixed up some Indian yellow and oxide red. Probably far and away my favorite glazing color combination. So it comes across as a very warm yellow, orangish, brownish yellow. Brownish orange, perhaps. Now, what I'm putting on right now is not all going to stay here. That's too much yellow. Are you with me? But this is a glaze, right? So, and this painting is dry, so I can do whatever I want. I could plaster the entire canvas with Viridian green if I wanted to. Why? Because then I could take a rag, and with a little bit of elbow grease, granted, and Gamsol or something like that, I could get it all on. See, so my point being, what I'm doing now is a very risk-free activity, because I can wipe off whatever I'm putting on right now. But I am going to wipe some of it off. I'm not going to wipe it all off. I'm going to leave some. It lets me be a control freak without looking or falling into the normal pitfalls of control freakism. Now, I thought as I was thinking about doing this broadcast, it also gives me the opportunity to talk about screwing up. I wish. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Sorry about the butchering of the melody there, but that's my point. Right? So if I was little Jiminy Cricket wishing upon a star, if I had one prayer, it would be, Lord, stop me from making stupid mistakes. Do I hear an amen? And of course, my point in saying all that silliness is never going to happen. The day will come when you will stop making mistakes. Right? The day will come when you stop making mistakes. It is the day when they say over you, dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to commit to the ground this mortal shell of this screw-up who made mistakes every day of his life. But he will no longer make any mistakes, he or she, because he will be a moldering in the grave. Anyway, so the day you stop making mistakes, it's the day you're dead. You got the point? Till then, you're going to screw up. I wish I didn't. I would like to not screw up. But I do want to talk about screwing up just for a minute. A little bit more seriously than that. First of all, I've shared this before, but it's been a long time. One of the most encouraging art videos I ever watched was, 10 or 12 years ago, was a video by Kevin McPherson. You know, one of the gods of the plein air movement in America. Nice guy, very nice guy. I like Kevin a lot. I've heard him speak live a couple of times. Very selfie-facing, humorous, very accessible man. Like him a lot. Wish there were more like him. But a really good painter. You know, he deserves his fame. He's a darn good painter. And one of the best videos I ever watched was a video by Kevin McPherson where he admitted, well, I was out here painting yesterday and I can't remember what he said, but nothing really went well. And I was like, whoa! If Kevin McPherson screws up, how an encouragement. So if I can be that encouragement to some of you, I'm not comparing myself to Kevin McPherson, but maybe I'm better than some of you, so to speak, if you let me be blunt. So if it encourages you, I need to know that I screw up. Be encouraged. Do be encouraged. Now, some of you who are better than me, you're going, Dan, every painting you do, I consider to be a screw up. Okay. Well, I'm not talking to you. You are not in my audience. If you're that good, you ain't listening to me. Okay? You didn't subscribe. You're not following my videos because if you're that good. But okay, so when it comes to screwing up, here's what I really want to say. First of all, everybody screws up, and hopefully, like as in this case, I think hopefully, our screw ups are relatively minor. That's a nice thing. If we can keep them on this sort of low end of the disaster spectrum, that's a good thing. And I'd say that's what I did here. So I've already darkened those chairs. Do you see? The painting's better already. Instantly better. That's all I have to do and it's better. It's not all I'm going to do, but that's all I had to do and it's better. I want to add a little bit of warmth since I just added, I shouldn't say warmth, I want to add a little bit of red. I just added warmth of the whole thing. But I want to push that in here. Generally speaking, is it time for supper? No. Generally speaking, given the choice, our eyes would rather see yes color than no color. That's the way I like to put it. You want to see color? Your eyes say yes. That famous phrase, less is more, is only true in an ironic sense. It's not true in a literal sense. Linguistic. More means more. That's why we call it more. Less means less. What the people who, well, actually, most people who say that, they're saying it because they heard somebody else say it and they sounded really smart. And everybody went, ooh. And it's a long story. Okay, but anyway, less is not more, less is less, and more is more. Now, don't give me any of you as if I don't understand what it means. I do understand, but what bothers me a little bit is when I hear people parroting things and actually getting confused. Like, you mean less is more? Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. I've already taken too far. So more color is usually good. Now, I was gonna say about making mistakes, about screwing up. Okay, now I'm lifting stuff out with a rag. Okay. Wherever I want to go back to a lighter value, then that's what I'm doing right now. Do we make mistakes? We do. We all make mistakes. I'm not sure that I've ever described the painting process exactly in the manner I'm about to describe it. So let me do so now. I'm not going to say the process of good painting. I'm going to say the practice. There we go. The practice of good painting. What makes somebody a good painter? Here it is. It is that they have taken most, and that's the key word here. They have taken most of the processes, if you'd rather. They have taken most of the processes of good painting and practiced them enough so that those good practices have gone from the front of their mind to the back. I need a piece of scrap paper here all of a sudden. Time for a diagram. Some of you are familiar with this diagram. I think I can do it. I didn't realize I was going to be doing this. It's a box with four squares, 4 quadrants. Okay. In the upper half is conscious, not conscience, conscious. That is awake, aware. C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S. Conscious. I'm going to put in quotation marks, aware, mindful. You're aware of what's going on. Okay? The second half of the diagram, so that's the top half. The second half is I'm going to call unaware. Okay? Unmindful. Unconscious. I don't mean unconscious like knocked out or asleep. I mean unconscious of an issue. Okay, so that's this way. Vertically, there are 2 categories as well. They are competent. Some of you know C-O-M-P-E-T. I'm not competent at spelling the word competent at the moment, evidently. I think I did that right. Competent, and guess what? Or incompetent. I think it's in, but it's too late. I already started incompetently spelling incompetent. Okay, don't get lost in all this silliness. Okay, here's a smiley face. No, here's not a smiley face. Here's a creature with a mortarboard on his head, signifying smartness. Okay, competent. Over here is incompetent or uncompetent. Here's conscious, and here's unaware. Some of you have seen this before. Others of you have not. When you're really, really, really bad at some skill, let's say, in my case, playing baseball. Okay, I played baseball as sandlot baseball as a kid. I was incompetent, but I was even completely unaware of how incompetent I was. So I was unaware of how incompetent I am. This is the sandbox. I'm exaggerating there slightly. Okay, you with me? If I had joined the junior high baseball team, I would quickly have become aware of how incompetent I was. And I would have moved from unaware, unconscious incompetency to conscious incompetency. So this is kind of like a wake-up call. This is like, okay, so like, look of shock and dismay. Oh my goodness, I'm terrible at this. You with me? But this is better than this. Here, I didn't even know how bad I was. Most people live their entire life in most subjects, especially academic subjects. Like let's take history, for instance. Unless you are a really geeky historian nut, you're unaware of how bad you are at history. Then you take a couple, 2, 3, 4, 14 videos series of history, you become, whoa, I'm terrible. I didn't know anything about history. I'm lousy. So then you start practicing. Work, study, study, study. Let's go back to me in baseball, junior high baseball. And I work. And little by little, all the things I didn't know about baseball, I now do know them. So now I'm going to use the same symbol. Now I am consciously competent. That is, I know how to play baseball, but I have to think about it. Let me use an example. If I'm, and some of you, I'll lose some of you on this, and I'm trying to think of it simple. If I'm the second baseman and the batter hits a ground ball into left field, well, no, let's say he hits it toward the shortstop. Now, some baseball person will correct me, but every person on the field, with every situation in baseball, with the ball goes this way, the left field, right field, center field, right field, first, second, third, shortstop, pitcher, catcher, everybody knows which way to move. I don't, because I know that I don't know, so I'm here. I'm conscious that I don't know. But anyway, let's say the second baseman, I believe, is supposed to move toward the first base. Why? Because he's going to back up. The catcher is supposed to move toward first base because he's going to back up the first baseman when the shortstop picks up that ball and fires it at 95 miles an hour to the first baseman. And if the first baseman missed the catch, and the catcher's already on his way to back him up. Let's say. Okay, so anyway, the point is, here, this is all very cerebral. Oh, I know what I should draw over here. I should draw a brain. Okay, so there's a brain. You with me? It's a very brainy part of the process. It's very conscious. I'm going to put rays of energy coming off the brain. Okay? Now, if a person plays baseball enough, they go to high school, they play hard, they practice for 3 years, they take good seminars and classes, have good coaching, they go to college. By this time, they have graduated from consciously competent to unconsciously, still competent, but now they're unconsciously competent. So what diagram should I have here? Here, a person does the right thing. Here's the point I want to make. A person does the right thing without even thinking about it. Whoa. I mean, I don't know. It's like glory. So I'm going to do a cloud here with light coming. It's like, ah! The birds sing, the sun comes out, you know, the angels sing, you know. This is where we all want to get. Okay, how does one develop a good practice of painting? The answer is, you start out. Not artists have no idea why they're not artists. They think it's silliness, like it's in my hand or something, until they start taking a few classes. Then they become conscious how much they don't know. And if they work their buns off, they come over here and they become consciously competent. They know the rules, but they have to think about them. They know the rules, but they have to remember them or they'll screw up. Good painting is when you move down here. You know the rules so well, you don't have to think about them anymore. That is, now, where do I live? Like all human beings, because we all, as I said, we all screw up until the day we die. Right? So, here we go. Where do I live? So where do I operate as an artist? The answer is here. Okay, I have some things that are in this box. I do them subconsciously without even giving it a second thought. I'm not good at teaching these things because I'm not even aware of them. I'm spending my whole career trying to shove stuff. Well, first of all, trying to learn how bad I am, but then learning the rules and then trying to get to the point where I do everything automatically without thinking about it. Why? Why do I want to? Let's say, and this is a ridiculously low number. Let's say there are 18 different principles you need to keep in mind to do a good painting. There's actually hundreds, but let's just say there's only 18. If I'm unconsciously competent about 5 of them, but I have to think about the other 13. Then I have to do an awful lot of thinking to do good painting. Whereas if I can get a whole bunch of these to become so intuitive that I don't have to think about it. Let's say I get to the point that 16 of the steps are intuitive. Is this making sense? And I only have to remember 2. That person is a good painter. Now, let me go back to my screw up here. What happened to me on Saturday night? I was doing a whole lot of stuff intuitively, like boom, 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 and a whole lot of stuff consciously. But I missed one. That tis a human. What's the word? To err is human. I think that to err is human, right? It is, but I don't want to be human. I want to be great. Okay, I've already fixed it. That's nice. And probably that may be all I have to do to this painting. But I mostly I want to encourage you, those of you who like me, screw up on occasion. You're just like, oh, doggone it, I knew better than that. See, that's what I say about these chairs being too light. I didn't practice subservient values, the power of subservient values. They were too bright. Now that they're dark, they're sitting back where they want to be, and the composition works much better. I'm not sure that there's anything else I need to do this painting. All I did was glazes and then lift out. That's a nice way to be. Well, let's lift out a little bit of the candles here. Candles on the tables. Yeah. Okay? But I hope, number one, I want to be encouraging. We all screw up because we're not God yet. But we're all in the process of trying to shove our understanding of painting already through this painting trash. We're all in the process trying to get the stuff that we know pushed down into the I do it automatically, into the unconscious competence category. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if any guys, oh yeah, there's a few comments here. I'm going to stop here in just a minute. Uh-oh, back to camera. Hey, David, thank you for asking. My cold is almost all gone. I'm just blowing a little bit out of the pipes here and there, and I'm good. Pooty rocket everywhere. That's funny. I don't know what that means, Dakota, but that sure is funny. Hey, Michelle Lynn. Oh, man, I appreciate that. Glad I'm fun to watch. Appreciate it. Well, this is going to be a short broadcast, which I'm going to try to do more and more and more short ones because some experts have told me I'll get more viewers if I keep them short. That's it. I'm done. Thanks for watching. I hope to do another broadcast later tonight. By the way, I did 233 broadcasts in 2018, so just under 5 a week. So that's not a bad average. I'd like to increase that this coming year. Thanks so much for watching.